Katie! Shout out to you. Thanks for giving us this heads up on what the Hayesville School District is doing. Their industrial arts program at Campus High School is building trucks to donate to Toys for Tots.
Yeah, it's a great story. Jamie and I got to go there, check out Santa's workshop, because that's what it felt like, watching all the students working on 500 trucks.
I think so. That was their goal.
Handmade to give to Toys for Tots for less fortunate.
Check it out. I'm here with Brett Mars, and he's the one that dreamed up this Toys for Tots, where his industrial arts class actually makes the Toys for Tots, and then they go get delivered out to the community. Can you tell me a little bit, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So the background on it, I went to school at Fort Hays, and that's one of the things we did every year with Dr. Ruda was the Toys for Tots. I wasn't directly involved with that, but the idea kind of stayed in the back of my mind, and I thought one of these days I'm going to be doing that with my kids. And last year was the year. We started out last year, and we made little tugboats. I got the design from another Fort Hays grad out of Mulvane, and I got the design from him, and we produced about 450 little tugboats, and it carried over this year. And I decided that we had to do something different, so I found a little picture of a toy truck online. I said, well, we can do that, so that's where it started. Decided to do the truck. So
Can you introduce yourself too?
Sure. Darren Robinson. I'm the technical department para for Campus High School.
So this is what we did last year, a little tugboat.
Does it float?
Sure.
I was like, I have
supposed to float. We didn't do any testing on it. So it's wood, so it may flip over, but it'll float.
So what is your goal for this year?
So we decided to go with the trucks. And my goal always is, I have about 120 kids working on this project. So really making 100 of them is one per person. Like, well, we got to do bigger than that. So my goal last year was 500. My goal this year is 500. I don't know where I came with the number. I just thought it would be a good number to start with. Because you figure 100 kids, that means everybody has to make 5. And I don't know.
Have you found that's a reasonable number for them?
This last year, yes. This year has been a little more of a struggle because our flow chart is so much bigger. So the different steps we take is probably triple than what this was last year.
Okay, explain the process a little bit. Where do you start?
So we start with a 2x4 board.
Okay.
So we can move. We start with a board just like this. This 2x4 is one we can't use because the edges are not there. So we went and actually sent Mr. Robinson to Lowe's to pick boards out. He had to open up bundles of lumber to pick out lumber that has all 4 corners.
Okay.
So we start with that. So we cut it down to length, and we take it to the drill press and we drill. Each one of these holes is drilled separately. The drill presses are set up to drill that specific thing, specific hole in a specific place. So this goes to 3 drill press setups, then it goes over to the kids to sand. They sand all the sides and stuff, and then once they're done, one of the students will mark these holes and it'll go to the bandsaw to get cut in a kind of rough cut.
Do the students have one station that they're at, or do they actually physically build 5 of these? They go step by step, or do they have stations?
So each student has their own station. Now that does change from minute to minute because students these days don't want to stay and do one thing the whole hour. So I'll put one student at, say, the chop saw, and I turn around and go do something, and 3 minutes later I come back and there's another student doing the chop saw. So they kind of rotate themselves around, which is okay sometimes, and sometimes I specifically want a student at a machine. But it all works out. The students get the experience of using that machine or doing the different process. So they kind of rotate around to the different parts of the project. So after they do that, and then they go to the bandsaw, and we kind of cut out. We chop that down and cut those out.
How do they know where to do that?
So they mark, we have speed squares where the kids come in and they mark lines where to cut.
Okay.
And then they just cut on the line. And sometimes they made a mistake, but it happens. It's life. Everyone makes mistakes. Big learning experience for the kids. The kids are excited because it makes an impact. It has an impact on other kids. Some of our kids are involved with Toys for Tots. Some are not. When you say, hey, we're going to do this, and these toys are going to kids that otherwise wouldn't get a toy for Christmas, and they're bought in. You know, they go to town. They work hard. Some of my most challenging classes are my best classes during this time. It's fun to see the light bulb. You know, it's fun to see those kids are like, you know, in the beginning of the semester, they kind of sit in their chair and are kind of disconnected. But when you bring this project up, they're like, what can we do next? What's next? What can we do? Can I do this? Can I do that? Absolutely, but you can't do it all at the same time. I think last year when I brought it to them, they kind of looked at me like I was crazy. Like, 500, really? And we're going to do this, and we have to do it in 3 weeks. So we started this project this year, last week, Monday. And we're delivering next week, Wednesday at 11:30. So we're 2.5 weeks, or 7.5 days. No, 13 days basically.
What would you have done if you were a child receiving one of these trucks?
I've been pretty excited because, I mean, they might not get very many toys, and this is a handmade thing, so, yeah.
So it feels good to give back to the community and the kids.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
What do you enjoy most about this project that Mr. Mars has you working on?
Probably just helping out the little kids and stuff so they can have presents for Christmas.
Do you think they'll have a deep impact since they're handmade and a limited edition, I guess you would say?
I think so, yeah, definitely. Not a whole lot of them are made, and they'll probably enjoy them, I hope.
What will it feel like if you see a little kid playing with these out in the community?
It'd be nice because, you know, you had a part in it and helped with it, so.
Do these see themselves as elves?
That's a good question. That's a question you'll have to ask the kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they are. It's like Santa's little workshop. When Katie first talked to us about this project, I mean, I just envisioned the magic that is happening, and that's what we envision, you know, as kids growing up with Santa. And, I mean, Christmas is magical. You're creating the magic right here in this workshop at a high school in
Yeah,
Kansas.
at a high school in Kansas.